Good morning. I'm Paige Smith here with NASCA Network. Today we're at the National AIDS Awareness Day with Bishop McNear, Ernest McNear. Now we're going to learn a lot this morning about what's happening in the fight against AIDS. Bishop, tell us about your role as Vice Chair for the Philadelphia Fight organization.
Well, as Vice President for Philadelphia Fight, it gives me a great position to serve this most important issue of finding a cure for HIV and AIDS. So Philadelphia Fight is one of the largest HIV and AIDS agencies in the state of Pennsylvania. And so there we've been able to do some very progressive things, like today, this is World AIDS Day, and for several years now we've had this prayer breakfast for World AIDS Day. Yeah, and so that's one of the things that we do.
Now, I said national, it's World AIDS Day, so I've been corrected. Now, you talk about advancements and what's happening in terms of the treatment and prevention of AIDS. Give us an idea of what's happening progressively with this global struggle against this deadly disease.
Well, the global struggle, one thing about it is that yearly we come together in one country or one continent or another, and everyone shares, and people from research, from medical scientists, as well as those who are infected or affected, education and so forth, and we pull our ideas and we see all the advancements. And this is a very exciting time because we're on the verge finally, and we can say this, of finding a cure. And in fact, one of the doctors said to me this morning, he said to me, Dr. Mauser, who is the director of our clinic at Philadelphia Fight, he said, Bishop, this is the beginning of the end. And I'm so glad about it. But the main thing is how important, from my perspective, faith is, and the faith communities to support people, to bring forth healing, hope, and realize that the folk need that, and that helps us.
Now, what's interesting is, as many people know, looking at what's happening within the Catholic Church, faith and the fight against AIDS, somewhat controversial. Some people can't necessarily make the alignment. You've stated that's very, very important. I also agree. But tell our viewers, what is the correlation and why is it so important that faith-based organizations get involved in this fight?
Well, the thing is this, that first of all, we need to know, and this is my mantra, AIDS is not too hard for God. And in terms of people, though, people many times are afraid of what they don't know. When AIDS first hit the scene, when someone was HIV positive, they thought it was a death sentence. And in the early 80s, it was. There was no hope, there was no healing, there was no medical treatment, but the changes have come now. And it's important that the faith community brings down the stigma. The faith community was very poor, I must confess, in the beginning. And they were saying that, oh, this is a curse against homosexuals. Oh, this is something, this and that and the other. So it put a lot of stigma, and it discriminated, and it hurt a lot of people. And I don't believe that's the God we serve. The God we serve, in fact, it doesn't matter whether you're sick, mentally, physically, spiritually, he's come to heal us. And so the communities of faith need to take that on. And that's why we keep on going forward and keep on making people aware and educating people about all of the developments and how important the faith community is.
Now tell us a little bit about the Philadelphia Fight organization. I guess one of the things you want our viewers to be aware of is fundraising and what the organization is doing to really have an impact and make an impact in the community. So you're vice chair. Tell us about some of the great things you've done historically and what's on the horizon for 2015.
Well, one of the things about Philadelphia Fight, we've been around for over 20 years now, and it's one of the pioneers of addressing this issue. And we have clinics. We just opened up 4 clinics. We had one, the Jonathan Lax Clinic. We opened up 3 more, so we have 4 now. And these clinics, the wonderful thing about Fight is this, that we've been able to garner so much support and financially, even through the government and private concerns, that we serve people whether they have the ability to pay or not. They can come and be serviced in the first-class clinics and private and professional service. And that's one of the major things that we really take pride in. We're right in the heart of the city of Center City, and we affect the people that are most in need. And we serve them as best we can.
Now, for our viewers who want to get involved and become affiliated with Philadelphia Fight, what's your website? How can they get in contact with the organization?
Very easy. www.fight. fight.org. Fight.org. If you just Google that or just go to it, you'll find all you can about Philadelphia Fight. Fight.org.
And are there any particular areas where, folks can get involved on a volunteer basis where you can say, hey, we need that effort right now?
Absolutely. If I had time, I would share with you all of the things that we're doing in the faith part of it. But we have what is called the Faith Leaders Network. And this is a wonderful meeting of people who just are involved or want to help. We learn so much together. We have, and we share in doing, as a matter of fact, that's what we're doing today at this World AIDS Day prayer breakfast. This is the faith community that sponsors this, and we're doing it in such a way that everyone can come. And there's a place for anyone that wants to get involved, whether they're infected or whether they're just serious about trying to help. Come on and get involved. We have a place for you.
People who get into treatment, I would emphasize you have to get into treatment, but people who get into treatment can lead a normal life. They can do it without getting sick from the medicines. We're past those medicines that made people so sick that it almost wasn't worth it. We don't have that anymore. So they can lead a normal life. They can have a normal lifespan. And if they're a woman and they want to have babies who are free of HIV, they can do that too. So we're really in a very, very different place than we were 25 years ago. Our biggest goal going into 2015 is the goal that we've always had, which is that we want to end this epidemic in the lifetime of people living with HIV now. And we are doing this by providing treatment for people, as you just referenced, providing assistance to people who are at very high risk to get them kind of over that hump until maybe they grow up a little bit and they can behave in a somewhat more responsible way. But also in the shorter run, to be able to reach out to the community as widely as possible to make sure that people are aware that treatment exists, because many people still aren't. We see people who come to us really at least weekly, maybe daily, who are still convinced that they're going to be dead in about 2 years. And that simply isn't true. And I think that the most important thing that any of us working in this field can do is to make sure that people understand that treatment is available, it will not make you sick, and that if you get into treatment, you can live a normal life with HIV. This event, the prayer breakfast, is of particular importance to us in that regard, because faith is so central to people's lives, so important to people, that as more and more churches and other faith institutions come forward, it is the best way to both help people heal and also to get that word out that there's treatment.
So we talked about treatment. Now the locations that Philadelphia Fight for individuals who are seeking treatment. First place they would go is to the website.
Yes.
And that website is?
It's www.fight.org.
Okay.
Very simple.
www.fight.org. Now from there, I'm assuming if you're in North Philly, South Philly, West Philadelphia, there's specific locations that are identified where folks can go seek treatment.
Well, actually, our clinic is in Center City, Philadelphia. It's 1233 Locust Street. One of the effects of stigma has been that people are often very reluctant to seek treatment in their own neighborhood. And when we started the clinic, we asked people, and they said, no, we want it to be in Center City, Philadelphia. So people can call us to make an appointment at 215-790-1788. We do not put up barriers. It is a doctor's office. You call us, we'll give you the next available appointment. You don't have to go through any other kind of rigmarole or anything. Just call us and make an appointment.